So those are some ways that you can use those maps for part of your research, but I want to switch over into surname mapping. And surname mapping gives you an idea of the distribution of a surname. And this shows where the surname is found and the frequency that is found in those areas. So it helps you focus your research. So let's say that you were doing research and you saw in the 1880 census that your ancestor immigrated from Germany. While that's somewhat useful, it at least tells you they're from Germany. However, you don't know where in Germany that person came from. So how do you narrow down your search instead of having to search every place in Germany? Well, these surname maps use sources such as census and directories for those countries to locate and map the surnames. So you're using these records, these census records, these city directories to locate where those names are present. So some of these surname maps are in paper format. This is an example of an Irish surname map, and you can see, all the surnames that are listed there. Now, part of my wife's family comes from County Mayo, which is this county right below where it says Ireland. You can see the Mayo, and it's the Churchill family. So, I could go through all of these names that are listed here and try to find Churchill. That's pretty tough. It's not an easy thing to do. But this is how, the maps were done prior to the internet. With the internet, we've got a lot more capabilities. So this is one of the GeoGen websites for German surnames. This is a legacy site. This is one of the Generation 1 sites. But I'm looking up Garman, G-A-R-M-A-N-N, which is one of my family names. And when I put that name in here, what do you notice about this map? You notice that all of the predominant Garmin distribution is up here in this northwestern area of Germany. And its highest dominance is in one small region. And then just to the north of that is the next highest dominance for that surname. This webpage tells me that Garmin can be found in Steinfurt in Nordrhein-Westfalen, where it's most frequent. And then the fewest are in Herzogtum Leuenberg in Schleswig-Holstein. So, you see these individual little ones down here in the south. There's a couple little individual sites where maybe one person is located, but that's probably not where my family came from. They probably came from this area of higher dominance of that surname. So this is the Legacy Stopel page. It's a really great page. It gives you a lot of great information. This is the Generation 4 Stopel page for GeoGen. You can see it's a different format. Again, I'm searching Garmin, and in here it gives me some more details. It says it rendered 92 hits into 39 clusters. The peak value is 15. So that means that this tallest peak is 15 occurrences based on this record set that they have here. It also, you can use your mouse and you can drag and drop this image, and you can rotate it so you can see the images a little bit better. It also tells me that this name was searched 54 times in the last 24 days. So there's other people searching for Garmin. You get a small inlaid map that's down below that information that shows you the density of the name in the different states in Germany. So, there's one that's a little bit higher density. You get a QR code up in the upper right-hand corner that you can use with your mobile device to send this information. And then down below that, you have this little star diagram. And this star diagram gives you alternate spellings or similar spellings for the similar names. So it has things like Carmen and Gorman and Corman, these different spellings. And if you click on those names, it'll then show you the distribution of those surnames. And you can see if they're in the same locations or not. Here's an example of a surname mapping site. This is called yourfamilyhistory.com, and this is the England and Wales records. And you can see right above the map, it says 1841, 51, all the way to 1911. So they're using the English and Wales census from 1841 every 10 years. The color coding gives you the density, the frequency of the name, and then you can see each of the counties and how many occurrences your name has in each of those counties. Right here, I'm searching the Coker name origins. So you see at the top it says Coker name origin, meaning and family history. So as I scroll down a little further, it tells me the meaning of the name. It tells me what their occupations were. So, you know, were the Coker families mostly farmers, or were they blacksmiths, or, you know, what were the occupations that were the most common for that surname? So it gives me a lot of information that I can use. And as I go through, you know, the different census years, I can see more and more information, you know, how that name might be distributed differently across the map. There is also, you know, other pages that link you right into records and help you do your research also. So how do you find these surname mapping pages for the countries you're looking for? Well, there's a couple web pages that consolidate some of these. Cindy's List is one of them. You can see, I've got a screenshot here of Cindy's List. You can see Celtic family names, GeoGen, which is the German stuff that I've just showed you, Irish family maps, ISOG surname maps, surname distribution analysis and mapping. You know, so a lot of these different websites you can test out and see if they have the information you're looking for. Or you could go to Family Search, and in the wiki, you can search surname distribution maps, and you can go to the countries you're looking for. What I would recommend is, you know, if your country, say Germany, has 2 or 3 different websites that do surname mapping, try all of them, because they may use different source records. You know, one might be using the census, another one might be using directories. And you can see if those censuses and those directories give you consistent results or provide different information. They may even be using different years in their pages. So it's helpful to look at all of them that you can see. And ISOG, the International Society of Genetic Genealogy, in their wiki, they have surname mapping also. And you can see they have surname mapping for Argentina, Austria, Belgium, British Isles, the Czech Republic, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, and the United States, and then some other links below that. So you can go to these countries' links here and see what information is available to help you find those surname mapping resources.